And you know that saying, blacks don't crack? This explains exactly why.
And that's on period.
I'm just gonna get into the topic today because I am
so excited. I'm so excited.
So a little interesting fact is that, did you know that skin type is actually not even a medical term? Yeah, I know, right? Skin type is not even taught in medical schools. When we talk about skin types in medical universities, we're basically referring to something called the Fitzpatrick scale, whereas in the cosmetic world, it means what we know as oily, dry, normal, and combination. So it was brought about in the 1975 by a dermatologist from Harvard called Thomas Fitzpatrick. And basically, when the Fitzpatrick scale actually came about, it was more about your eye color and skin color, but then it was later realized to be unreliable. So the system switched up on basis of how your skin reacts to sun exposure. And the scale ranges from skin type 1 to skin type 6. Another thing about the Fitzpatrick scale is it doesn't change. You are literally born with it. If you're born a skin type 1, then you're going to be a skin type 1 till the end of time. So basically, to sum it all up, if you're on the lower range of the Fitzpatrick scale from skin type 1 and upwards, that just means that you are more tolerant to products and less tolerant to sun exposure. And if you're on the higher end of the scale, that means that you are more tolerant to sun exposure and less tolerant to products. And skincare professionals use this to help understand your skin type better, what is suited for you, what aesthetic treatment is best for you. Going into the skin types that you know, I've asked myself this question a lot. Like, how did this whole skin type thing start? And where did it actually come from? And when I did my little research, it was actually so interesting. So basically, the skin types that we know was formulated by an amazing, phenomenal woman named Rubinstein.
Yes, queen.
Can we just give that woman a moment? Rubinstein brought about skin types. So what did she do is that when she did her advertisement, she would wear a lab coat. And interesting enough, the only educational background she had when it actually came to skin was for 2 months, and she learned about it in a European skincare seminar. In the 90s, formulated a system where she basically formed the problem women face when it comes to their skin. And from this, she came up with the skin type system. I guess that makes sense why people always say that 4, 5, 12, 16 skin type, because it hasn't really scientifically been proven, but the beauty industry does use it as a way for a marketing campaign to put people into the different demographics so that their products don't cause problems for your skin, which is also very helpful for estheticians and skincare workers to explain concepts to their patients. So if it wasn't for Rubinstein and Thomas Fitzpatrick, I really don't know where it would be right now. So one major difference between the Fitzpatrick scale and Rubinstein skin types is that the Fitzpatrick scale doesn't change, whereas the Rubinstein skin types does change. So skin types basically refer to your hydration level of your skin. Our skin secretes a substance called sebum, and sebum helps in the moisture of our hair and our skin. So the amount of sebum that your skin produces determines whether you are oily, dry, normal, or combination. Because if you are oily, that just means your oil glands, which are known as sebaceous glands, are more active, and you probably have wider pores. And if you're more of a dry skin, it means your active glands are not producing as much sebum, and you probably have very small pores. People with dry skin usually have very flaky skin, very tight skin, very dry skin throughout the day, and may suffer from premature wrinkling or skin irritation. And people with oily skin, throughout the day, their skin comes across as greasy, shiny. It doesn't feel tight at all. People with oily skin do tend to suffer from acne breakouts more often as well. Interesting fact about people with oily skin is that Dr. Davin Lin did say that ethnic people usually do have oilier skin. And you know that saying, blacks don't crack? This explains exactly why. Because people with oilier skin have less chances to suffer from premature wrinkles. If they do suffer from wrinkling, it is a very, very late stage. So putting one and one together, this blacks don't crack, the statement does actually make sense why we don't crack. We tend to have oilier skin, and oilier skin does counteract premature wrinkling. So appreciate that melanin.
And that's on period.
With combination skin, usually these people will have probably a shiny or greasy forehead, or maybe a little bit of grease and shine on their nose as well, but their cheeks would seem rather dry. So these areas are known as the T-zone and the C-zone. The T-zone includes your forehead, nose, and chin, whereas the C-zone includes your cheek. And the reason why your T-zone seems to be more greasy and shiny is because oil glands are more active. I can't really say whether sensitive is part of the skin types or not, because there isn't really scientific evidence about this, but it kind of makes sense why sensitive skin is considered just a concern more than a skin type. The different ways for you to find what skin type you are at home is basically all you have to do is take a shower, probably in the evening, just to avoid any skin damage throughout the process. So you would take a shower, don't apply anything to your face, and just wait for 1 hour. After an hour, go to a mirror and start examining your face. So to understand if you're a dry skin type, your face will feel very tight, flaky, and a little bit of creases will start to appear. Another way you can check is that if your pores are very, very small, to a point where you can't even see them. Another method that you can try is with tissue paper. It does fall off with no grease at all. That's also another sign that you are dry skin type. Understandably, if you're oily skin type, after an hour, your skin will seem shiny and greasy. To test it is by looking at your pores. Your pores will seem a little bit bigger. And another way to test it is also using the tissue paper and placing it all over your face. And if the tissue paper does stick to your face, and when you do remove it off your face, you see a little bit of oil traces, then that's another indication that you are oily skin type. To understand whether you're a combination skin type, again, your forehead, nose, and chin will seem to be shiny and greasy, whereas your cheeks will seem dry. Another way to check this, the tissue paper, just placing it on the T-zone area and C-zone area, and the tissue paper on the T-zone area will probably stick or have traces of oil, whereas the C-zone tissue paper will either fall off or have no traces at all. If you are one of those lucky individuals where your skin type is normal, then after this test, your skin will feel fine and also very lucky. So lucky. So why is it important for you to know your skin type? This really helps you understand the best way you can help your skin get the most hydration and moisture, but also understanding that there's a lot of factors that influence your skin type. The most common is temperature. People who live in Durban will have oily skin types, and people who live in, example, Cape Town will have dry skin type, because in Durban the temperature there is very humid, whereas people in Cape Town, they
Just have all 4 seasons in one day.
it is more colder and their air is more thin as well. We all know that the skin is the biggest organ and the only organ that we actually can see with our naked eye. Stress affects the entire autoimmune system, and your skin will show this. It will start with acne breakouts, flaring of psoriasis or eczema. But this is just basically your body telling you to calm down, take it easy, and relax. As much as it is the most annoying thing, it's also really helpful to understand your health state. Another factor that could influence your skin type is what you eat. Example, dairy products. Dairy products have been found to be problematic, especially when it comes to acne. Another thing is alcohol consumption. So alcohol consumption is just really horrible when it comes to the skin. The skin and alcohol just do not mix, especially people with psoriasis. If you do consume alcohol, it might actually cause more problems to your skin as well. So just be careful of the amount of alcohol consumption that you do intake. The skin can actually heal itself, but it's when we come and disturb the process where things become difficult and things last longer than they really should. I really hope that you did enjoy it and you found some interesting facts. And once again, thank you so much for watching my video. Please do like, subscribe, share. I'm so excited to see you guys in my next video. Bye!